Hello, and welcome to Bird's Broadcast. As we stated in our last broadcast, our intern Wilbur will be doing the weather. So stay tuned after our first story to find out the forecast near you. Now without further ado, gather around your speakers and allow me to present to you You Should Invest in Curtains, written by Clubpenguintraphouse. And Our Youngest Child is Going Through His Fifth Puberty, written by Short Story 1. As always, the links are in the description below, and do please like and subscribe. As she entered her room, she took notice of the 1 a.m. in bright red letters on her alarm clock. I should probably sleep, she thought to herself, changing into proper sleepwear. She set her alarm for the next morning. She rolled over, almost instantly falling asleep. The clock read 4 a.m. as she awoke to the silence. Her bedroom window faced directly into the entrance to the backyard, giving her a clear view of the crooked broken gate, being swung back and forth by the cold night wind. She rolled over with the intention of sleeping, but was immediately disrupted by a loud bang coming from outside. She walked up to the window and could just barely see the gate through the dark. The moon cast a low light into her room, enough to cast a small shadow under the features of her face. The loud noise struck again, startling her. The gate slowly creaked open, as she could see a silhouette of a man in the crack. She lowered herself down to the corner of the window, allowing her to see a small section of the man's legs. The man took a swift and quiet step forward, cautiously examining the interior of the room. She sank lower under the windowsill, completely out of sight. She thought about calling the police, but had realized that her phone was on the bedside table opposite her. The shadow of the man was cast over the bed, making him appear large and intimidating. The man's shadow passed from the window. Him now out of sight from her current position, she quickly rocked across the room, grabbing her phone and returning to original spot. The phone read no service at the top of the screen. Now panicking, she began to look for a weapon she could use to defend herself. Empty-handed from an unsuccessful search, she locked the door and curled into a ball, crying slightly. Footsteps passed overhead as he had somehow found his way into the house. She let her mind decide the fate of her parents, terror taking over every other emotion. The footsteps passed back downstairs and stopped right outside her door. The doorknob rattled, coming to an abrupt stop. The man began hitting the door, part of the wood responding to the force by bending. The door suddenly had a small crater in it. An eye passed over the hole, staring directly at her. A high-pitched, raspy voice exclaimed, "No way out!" He continued banging the door. The hole was getting bigger and bigger with each slam. He was hitting the door directly with his head. He reached through the gaping hole in the door and reached for the doorknob, unlocking and promptly turning it. He stood in the door, standing widely with an intimidating stance. He flicked on the lights, revealing a terrifying face of death. His face was rotting, a gaping hole in the side of his mouth revealing the brown and red sores of his mouth. His jaw widened to an unnatural position, revealing long, sharp teeth stained with blood. His hands became claws, 3 long and bony pointed fingers dropping to the floor. She sunk slower into the corner, wanting to pretend he wasn't there. But he was most definitely there. "Don't be afraid! I'll make it quick!" His rotted muscles tried to show a smile, but they just moved the skin over his sunken, black eyes. In a flash movement, he took to making it quick, watching the life fade from her eyes. Well, I'm not sure the curtains were the issue there. Maybe it was more of an issue of how rude of a host she was. She didn't offer her guests food, so I guess he may have just eaten her. And let that be a lesson to all of you listeners. Be the host who gives the most. But it's now time for the weather. Wilbur, you're up. Here, take this thermometer, mic, and umbrella, and just head out the back door. Just don't go through the door with the Oh! Crap. Well, go on. I'll get this cleaned up.
Hi, Bird. Can you hear me okay?
You're coming in great. Do please tell our listeners what it's looking like out there.
Well, the thermometer doesn't seem to be working here. Odd. Well, let's just have a look around. It's, humid, and there's literally no wind. In fact, this place seems barren. The clouds are dark. Is something moving in them?
I'm sorry? Wilbur. I'm looking out the studio window right now and the sun is out. The kids are in the park, chanting and speaking in tongues as is proper for elementary age. Wait. What door did you go through?
Just one of the ones in the back. I think it had a triangle on it? Wait, the clouds are moving around more. I think I see something coming from them. Tentacles? It's, cloudy with a chance of tentacles.
Wait, did you say the door with the triangle? Oh dear. That door is only for management.
Hey, there's something emerging from the clouds? What in the name of H.P. Lovecraft is this? I can't look away. It's calling to me. I can hear it in my head. Yes. Praise be to the Dark Ones. All hail the Dark Ones. Oh, glorious one, I bow down to your greatness. Yes. Please embrace me with your touch. You have chosen me. I submit. Take me into you, so I may sate your ever-growing hunger.
Ooh, so I'm pretty sure he said something about cloudy with tentacles. So do stay inside today. Well, that may be the last time we hear from Wilbur. But let's not have that get you down, because we have one more story for the evening. So do please buckle down, for our youngest child is going through his 5th puberty, written by Short Story 1. Oh, puberty, what a time for the kids and the parents. The never-ending mood swings, and they grow up so fast into their adulthood. My wife and I have 6 kids, and before you ask, we could afford each and every one of them, or otherwise we wouldn't have had the kids. Anyhow, our youngest, who is now 21, is currently going through his 5th puberty, and as parents we feel so blessed to see our youngest child, Eric, grow and change again. Eric was a bit of a late bloomer at 16. When he first went through puberty, he had gained a deep voice and became taller and hairier. We couldn't believe that our youngest was now entering adulthood. As parents, when you see your child going through puberty, it's kind of a relief because you've got them this far. Then at 17, Eric went through puberty again and became more taller and gained sharp teeth and claws. His ears started to grow out like an elf's, and he ate his older sister, who was our 5th oldest child. We didn't blame Eric for eating his sister, as we blamed it on puberty. Then at 18 years old, Eric went through puberty again, and his parents took on more changes as he grew a tail and became hairy. His face became more defined, like between a werewolf and a skinwalker. He ate his older brother this time, who was our 4th oldest child. We blamed it on the puberty, as hunger can grow so much during puberty. Then at 19, he went through his 3rd round of puberty, and he was able to walk on walls and see in the dark. He grew wings and was able to speak many languages through verbal and telepathic means. Oh, the changes children go through. He killed his older brother, who was our 3rd oldest child. Then at 20, he went through puberty again for the 4th time. He grew more taller, and his claws and teeth more defined, and his tongue stretched out more. He could also move things with his mind. He had his other older sister, who was her second oldest child. At 21, he's gone through his 5th puberty and has become so muscular overnight to the point he is like a bodybuilder. His knees and elbows have a knife-like shape. Our oldest child is frightened and is arguing with us to get rid of Eric. My wife and I both laugh, telling our eldest child that Eric is just going through his 5th puberty. We now have him all trained up and ready to go, so stay tuned for our first... Fuck! Ah! So stay tuned after our first story. Holy shit. Fucking can't. Oh. Okay. Okay, we got this. Well, and there goes my contact lens. We good? No. Perfect.